Hi everybody, welcome back to the Snake Pit. I'm Snake and I had a request from Dancing to cover Bera, so let's get right into her. So Bera is a season 3 hero, and ever since she came out, she's been extremely popular. It's starting to taper off a little bit right now because the meta has been changing a little bit, but she is still used quite often, and she can be used quite effectively still as well. There's always been a debate who's better, Bera or Freya. They're both very similar heroes. Uh, it's actually more comparing apples to apples than apples to oranges. So I almost considered doing the two of them as a head to head. But I think I'm going to stick with Bera today, and I'm going to come up with Freya soon, and then you can make your own comparisons. But they're both excellent, excellent heroes all around. But let's just talk about Bera, and I'm gonna scream through this very fast because you can look up her card anywhere online, and don't need me to waste your time on it. But there's a few points I need to bring up that will help understand the analysis for those that don't know much about Bera at all. So Bera, like I said, is a season 3 hero. Um, it's monk class, fast mana speed. The stats are really well balanced. They are almost the same between defense and attack. And Bera summons minions that are pretty beefy. So it's 20% attack, 20% HP for all allies inherited from the caster. Only Divana and Noor have minions that are uh, better in both those categories of attack and HP. So it's a well-rounded minion. There's a few equal. Freya, for one, is has the same ones, but they're pretty beefy and they pack a punch. In Bera's case, these minions, they're moth minions, and they give 180 poison damage over 3 turns, is what happens with those. And not only that, the big kicker out of these minions is that the enemy that gets hit by one of these minions cannot receive a minion for 3 turns. This is a game changer. Kvasir, the 3-star B keeper, came out in season 3. He was the other one that was like that, and that's also made him extremely effective, even though there's not a lot of minion heroes at the 3-star level yet. And the last thing I want to talk about with Bera is that she is of the Vanaheim realm. This is my favorite realm of them all, especially when it comes to tanks. And the reason for this is because the mana of all enemies is reduced when a Vanaheim hero dies. And the amount of mana that comes off is either 5, 10, or 15%, depending on how many heroes you have. But listen, it doesn't matter that much. Even if it's 1% that comes off, it could either, it could be very disruptive to the attacking team when you've got Bera on defense. That's why she makes a good tank. Hey, let's don't take my word for it. Let's go right into the numbers now, and you can see what you came for. So, as normal, we start with Arrow Barrage. The yellow or orange line depicts the average of all heroes that were observed in my 1-year war study. So we could see where that falls. Looking at this, the blue line is Bera, and she is incredible in all 3 positions, tank, flank, wing, compared to the norm. And if we look at the chart on the top right, we see some very high numbers at tank, 38.6, 35.6 at flank, 37.3 at the wing. These are very high numbers, and you can see by the ranking, teams with Bera at tank do the second best of all heroes that have been rated at that position. It includes those that have been used at least 10 times. She's solid all the way around. especially at the tank. Top 10 finish at the flank as well. And now with the wing, we could see with the amount of times used, it was only 8. So I didn't rank it because I usually just rank those that have been used at least 10 times. But seeing as it's close to 10, I will often take a look just to satisfy my curiosity. And if I had used all heroes that were used at least 8 times or more, Bera would be 12th out of 71, which is also a good showing. And why does Bera do well here? Well, it's quite possible that Bera does well here by her moth minions not allowing the attackers to use to receive minions of their own. So that means that if someone brings a minion attacker, then those meat shields against the arrows are not going to come out, and basically makes them a little bit useless. So I think that's why. I mean, Bera's minions are also, like I said, 20% HP inherited from the caster, which is significant in extending the life of your team as well. But as we could see, Bera, excellent choice in Arrow Barrage in all 3 positions. Moving right along with attack boost, 27.6 is the average. If we look in the chart, hovering around the 30 to 31% mark, which is quite a bit higher, and it's depicted very well in that graph as well. Bera is solid at all positions, better than average than all other types of heroes when used in those positions. Again, I think this is because those minions provide a little bit of padding for the rest of the team. And remember, the longer that fight is extended, the better it is for your defense in attack boost wars. This gives more time for the attack boost to stack up, so that you can have some big hitters on the wings, just mow through those attacking teams. Going to Undead Horde, and we can see that Bera is putting up some solid numbers again, really good ones, getting up to almost 35% on the wing. Again, use a little bit less. If you've noticed anything, she's not used on the wing as much as tank and flank, but she's just as useful. So keep this in mind when you're using Bera or you're trying to fit her in. If you're not using dark tanks, then there's no reason that you can't put her on the wing, at least in these first 3 war types that we're seeing. She's a top 5 for tank and wing, and does very well at the flank compared to the other heroes that are used at least 10 times in those positions. So what makes her very good here? So Bera is not only a minion summoner, but she's also an anti-minion hero too, right? So her minions add beef to the skeleton minions in this particular war type, which is good because they stack up and give more of a buffer against damage coming in. And it also prevents the attackers from getting those skeleton minions, and of course from any minions that are summoned from heroes that they might have brought on their attacking team. So it's a double whammy with Bera in this war type. So for Equalizer, we're seeing a very similar pattern from the last war type, which was Undead Horde, and there's a good reason for this too. And look at these rankings. So look at tank, first place out of 27, 4th out of 72 on the flank, only used 7 times on the wing, but look at that score so far. It is, for me, a decent indicator. I know we go with 10 and this number, yes, of course, it can be easily changed with 1 or 2 bad runs. However, from what we've seen from the previous wars and going into this one, I have no reason to think that it can't remain very high as well. As it sits right now at 7 times used, 42.7% on that wing. That would be first out of 76 heroes that have been used at least 7 times or more, if I did rank that low on the occurrence scale. The reasons for the success here in Equalizer is the same ones for Undead Horde. Equalizer is the war type that uses the second most amount of minion heroes. And of course, the reason is that Equalizer wars wipe away buffs, stacks, ailments, but minions are untouched. So we tend to see a lot more of them. And that's where Bera comes in and is able to prevent those minions from showing up in the first place. So for the similar reasons that she does well in Undead Horde, she does well in Equalizer. And now let's move on to Rush. All right, before we freak out about the wing, look at that. Okay, it was only used 1 time. Same thing on the flank. I'm not surprised that Bera was not used much in this war type. I'm actually a little bit shocked about her being used 47 times at tank. That would be the number that we can actually kind of go with here. In the middle third, so not, not absolutely terrible. There's worse ones. I would never take Bera in as a tank, and I wouldn't bring her in as a flank or a wing, no matter what you see here with those 1 occurrences in those positions. She is going to fall with numerous times used inside that orange triangle, right? And you've seen this time and time again. If you've seen any of my other videos, any fast hero is not typically going to do well in Rush. Okay, their specials are just not, they're not that destructive, not that effective compared to slow and very slow heroes, right? That's that balance point that the developers use. Basically, you're going to have the mana speed on one side, and it's going to determine how powerful, how rough that special effect or effects will be. So as a fast hero, not that powerful. When you're playing on an even playing field for mana speed, leave those fast heroes at home. I don't recommend Bera in this war type. So let's take a look now at the overall picture. And this only serves really, I'm a stats guy. I'm always curious about the overall as well as the more granular war types. But this one here, it gives you a good idea of where she's useful. And we've almost got a perfect triangle going around that other one that depicts the average. And this includes the scores from Rush as well, right? But she's sitting between 33.4 and 35.3%. Very consistent in all positions, very effective in all positions, except for Rush, of course. She ranks quite high compared to others. As I said, the meta's changing. I'm still seeing a lot of Beras today that are out there, and I think that she's going to continue to be useful until you get something that's more powerful. But she's always going to have a place because she's a minion summoner, and she's also an anti-minion hero in the sense that she blocks them. So she's got some unique capabilities there. All right, I hope I was able to speed that up quick enough. I want to stress that even though she is a Season 3 hero, Bera has shown that in all regular mana speed wars, she is quite useful, quite effective in any position. So no matter where you stick her, she's going to be good. You don't have to put her at tank or flank. She's good on the wing. Clearly, I'd love to see a little bit more data. We've got lower numbers for usage there compared to the other 2 positions, but still solid so far. I have no reason to think that it won't be. Like I said, she's very close to Freya. I'm going to put out Freya's video very soon so that we can see which one is actually better. But if these numbers are any indication, it's going to be tough to beat what we've got here with Bera. Anyways, that's it for today. I'll have more videos coming to you very shortly. If you do enjoy my content, please subscribe. It helps me out quite a bit. And also leave comments. I love to hear from you. Anything at all, even if it's bad feedback, it's great for me. Anyways, thank you again for watching. And I'm Ssnake, and I'm here to help you defend yourself.